As you watch my videos, you know that I always encourage you to collect more and more tools for your proverbial toolbox, tools that you can use for effective stress management. After all, the more tools that you have, the better off you'll be. That's why I encourage you to try different things. Some tools, some things that I introduce to you will resonate better with you, and you'll be more likely to reach for those when the need arises. Some things will be easier for you to do, some things will be easier for you to remember to do. But that's why it's so important to have as many tools as possible. Some things will be more appropriate than others in terms of what works for a specific situation. So it's so important to have that toolbox filled with a variety of different tools to manage the stress in your life. But today, I want to remind you that collecting these tools is a good starting place, but you have to engage in them on a regular basis, meaning practice these stress management tools on a regular basis as you go. Every day, do something. Don't wait for a situation to happen, for an emergency to occur, because if you wait for that, you will first not be very familiar with what tools you have in that toolbox of yours, because you acquired a tool by watching a video, maybe practicing it, and then you kind of shoved it in your toolbox and you never thought of it again. So it's difficult to remember everything that you have in there, everything that you learned. But on top of that, even if you remembered, even if you created a list, which would be fantastic, if you don't practice these tools, so to speak, you will not be well versed in them. So they will not be like second nature to you when you need them. Imagine that you had a pair of scissors. Imagine that scissors are a brand new thing. You've never seen scissors in your life. You don't know what they are. Somebody introduces you to scissors and they gift you a pair of scissors. And you think, wow, this is fantastic. These scissors, they're great. But I don't have a need for them right now. So I'm going to put them in my toolbox. Thank you for the scissors. These are great. I think they'll work great when I need them, but I don't need them right now. So I'm just going to put them away. You might need the scissors sometime soon or maybe down the road, but you haven't used the scissors. You may have forgotten that you have them. So there you are struggling where scissors could have made your life so much easier. There you are trying to rack your brain on how to resolve something, how to take care of something, when a simple pair of scissors would have been great. Then you remember the scissors. Maybe you go into your toolbox and you're like, scissors, I forgot all about these. You take out these scissors, but you haven't used them since the first day you got them. And you're not really sure how to use them. You're not very good at using them. I know it's scissors, but work with me. It's an example. So now here you are, and you have this pair of scissors that you finally remember that you have, and you're trying to use them, but you're not very good at it. And maybe even nick your finger or something, or cut the wrong way, whatever you're trying to cut, and it's not the result that you wanted. But if you use the scissors every day in some capacity, a little bit here, a little bit there, you would have been used to the scissors. Certainly you would have remembered that you had the scissors in your toolbox. Do you see what I mean? It's a simple, silly story, but it illustrates the importance of being familiar with your tools. If you're not familiar with your tools, like I said, one, you may forget that you have them, and two, you're not going to be very skilled using them. Certainly not as skilled as you would be if you were using them on a daily basis, if you were practicing with them on a daily basis. And this is the same thing when it comes to stress management tools. It's wonderful to collect these tools and fill your toolbox with as many tools and as big of a variety of tools as possible. The more you have, the wider the variety, the better. But make sure that you don't forget about them. Don't just shove them in your toolbox and leave them there. Practice them. Don't wait for an issue or a situation or an emergency to occur before you go looking for a tool. Practice every day. So many of these tools have a preventative component to them anyway, so that when a situation happens that is a stressor, a potentially stressful situation, so many of these tools prepare you to have a much better time dealing with this stressor than you would if you never practiced whatever this tool suggests you do. So it's not just all reactive. These tools are proactive in their nature, some more than others, but they're all proactive in their nature to some degree. So I highly suggest that, one, if you want to keep a list of all the different tools that you have learned through these videos, that would be fantastic, because it's a great reference for you to look to see what you've learned. And then you can practice those things that you learned on a regular basis, so that, one, when you need them, you can just pull them out and be very proficient at using them, but also that you benefit from the proactive component of the tool, so that when you do practice on a regular basis and then an issue arises, a stressor presents itself, you are in a much better position in how you deal with it than if you've never practiced proactively these stress management tools. So I encourage you to keep track of your tools and practice with them on a regular basis, so that when you need to use them, you're good at it, and stressors don't hit you as hard as they would otherwise. If you'd like to learn more about a comprehensive approach to stress management, check out the link below.